Good evening, my friends. This is Paul, and tonight I'm going to be reviewing Kirby's Dream Land 3, playing it off of my Wii collection. I have to admit, I thought I was going to be converted to Kirby. I thought, okay, Kirby Super Star was phenomenal. Kirby Super Star Ultra was even better, hence the name at the end, Ultra. I thought, there's no way they can royally screw up Kirby's Dream Land 3, because they would build off of Kirby Superstar's foundation. That's what any good sequel does, right? Well, I was dead wrong, because Kirby's Dream Land 3 came along, and even though it was also on the Super Nintendo, just like Kirby Superstar, it felt more like a step backwards. So rather than being a true Kirby's Dream Land 3, it felt more like a Kirby's Dream Land 2.5, really. Now, to its credit, there are only 3 good things I can say about it. I'll make that 4. You can jump with the 2 button, assuming you're holding the Wii Remote sideways, instead of pressing up. The music is great most of the time. The game looks really good most of the time. It has a nice coloring book aesthetic that you don't see in too many games. Kirby 64 uses it a little bit, but that's usually only for the menus. But the entire game is like this in Kirby's Dream Land 3. And so even today, the visuals hold up really well for a Super Nintendo game. And the final battle is decently cool, although I didn't unlock the final battle, because I was just like, okay, I am done with this game. The staff roll for the enemies rolled by. Good riddance with my Kirby marathon. Well, at least for this disc. However, everything else was simply mediocre. Now, it wasn't so bad that I kind of wanted to hurl the Wii Remote like I did with the 3 previous Kirby games before Kirby Superstar, but it just got to the point where the majority of the levels were just flying over everything, and a lot of what made Kirby Superstar great was totally removed. Like, for instance, the hats when you get the copy ability. Kirby no longer gets one. He just still looks like Kirby, but has a copy ability icon at the bottom. He no longer has a cool looking menu. His copy abilities only have one different thing that they can do. Then there's also the fact that enemies are all one-hit kills, except for the witches, which are surprisingly 2-hit kills for some odd reason. Boss battles are back to being super boring and uncreative. That RPG boss in Kirby Superstar, that was so incredible! Why couldn't Dreamland 3 be like that? The only thing even remotely resembling a good time as far as the boss battles were concerned was when I fought, spoiler alert, King Dedede for the who knows how many if time. And I'm glad to say that it actually shook things up during the final act, even if it did feel like a Pac-Man clone, but I'm pretty sure HAL Laboratory made it different enough where they could get past the copyright issues. Overall, Kirby's Dream Land was just kind of ho-hum, really. It had these optional side missions where you could play this guessing game thing, and then the animal buddy would be happy with you. Otherwise, you'd see their sad, miserable face as you exited the level. But I'm pretty sure all that gets you is a secret final boss, and after being thoroughly unimpressed with this game's cast of bosses, about half of them being recycled from other Kirby games, as if things couldn't get any worse, I was like, no way. No way. No more bosses. If I can avoid it, I will. I'm going to get through this game as quickly as possible. And it still adhered to the stupid Kirby tradition that your health bar and lives carry over between levels. So, if I have 1 health left going into the next level, unless I get a health pick-me-up from this stupid little jumping game that you do at the end of the level, that's what I'm going to be going into the next one. And then that could get me into huge trouble. Especially if I get a game over, because then I have to start the entire level from start to finish. It just felt so cumbersome. And it's something that, with the exception of Kirby Superstar, they have yet to fix in any Kirby game that I've played or seen that's actually a Kirby game and not an odd spin-off like, say, Epic Yarn or Mass Attack. Now, to its credit, it does what it should for a Kirby fanboy or fangirl. I mean, it plays a lot like Kirby's Dream Land 2. I mean, it has the copy abilities, even if there's not that many of them. And it has the animal buddies, which kinda are decent, but they always felt more like add-ons as opposed to really enhancing the game. Like, I felt like if the animal buddies weren't there, it wouldn't have made the game any more or less fun. It also supports two-player co-op, surprisingly. You could have a computer-assisted second player in the form of a character called Gooey, who's basically this blob that has a big tongue. And from what I heard, he can do everything Kirby does, and you could even have a second player control him. I suppose if I had friends willing to put up with this dud, I might have enjoyed myself if maybe I tried the two-player mode, but I didn't. I just said, screw this. And it's not just my opinion that this game was dumb too. My girlfriend was watching this game over my shoulder, and she's like, "That's it? That's the entire game?" I'm like, "Yep, that's the entire game." She's like, "Why are you bothering to go through this torment?" And I said, "The things I do for my YouTube audience." And then she gave me a kiss from all of my loyal YouTube fans that have been supporting me grandly throughout my video game reviews. Which is hardly any of you, but I'm gonna let that slide because it's nice to get a kiss from one's girlfriend. And so I did it anyway, because who doesn't like support from motivation like that? But even her support is not going to cause me to defend such a mediocre, miserable excuse for a sequel. If it had come out earlier, I might have been more forgiving, but considering that it came after the phenomenal Kirby Super Star, there's really no excuse. Thankfully. If you're thinking, ugh, Paul, I am sick and tired of listening to 4 out of your 5 Kirby reviews being pessimistic, you'll be glad to know that I am well on my way to finishing all the extra stuff that they have on the Dream Collection, including I was actually lucky enough to get the soundtrack CD. I finished the challenge stages, and I'm about to watch the 3 anime episodes included. Wish me luck. And then I'll do a full review of this amazing collection. So I don't hate Kirby, I just wish it would be more like the Superstar ideal. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and until my next video, keep the faith, stay epic, and God bless.